Sorry, friends. Had my microphone muted? It wasn't muted, and then I muted it. And now I've had to unmute it. Sorry, friends. Whoops. Had my microphone muted? As you can see, I'm a little bit behind the fucking curve here. Anywho, how are we? I'm a parched animal. A parched duck. I need to text Dura Rose and tell him that I'm streaming and can no longer continue this conversation that I was deep in with him. Hello, everybody. Hello, DMS. Hello, Paul Femo, DJ, I Smell, Rachel, Paroli, Jerome, Arseth, and Dev. Dev wore arpege. Scent of the day was Santal Majuscule, says Juro. Oh, I wore and got a compliment upon Vinny Havan. Got a compliment on Vinny Havan. And I was telling the girl in the shop, I was like, oh, it's got tobacco, it's got vanilla, it's got chocolate, dried fruits. She was like, well, I can't smell any of that. She was like, it just smells nice. And I was like, fair play to you. I was like, yes, it does. So, happy days. Happy days. Why do I keep picking you up and smelling you? Who knows? I also got some well wishes from a wonderful user on Instagram, says Dev. Well, happy days. It is nice when that happens. Arseth is wearing, brace yourselves, Mandodari. What's that? Who's that? Who makes that shit? Oh, Mandodari is Prin, right? Says Dev. Dev showing his encyclopedic knowledge of indie and niche perfume. Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. That is cold hydration. Do. Jura Rose is looking at buying a car. Since the face being revealed, game got real, says Steph. Sorry? Who's been revealing themselves on YouTube? Me. That was ages ago. Don't like Prin's mainline stuff that much. I think Prin's absolutely woeful, to be honest with you. There's some stuff there that's actually really good, but there's some stuff that feels like he's knocked it up in fucking 20 minutes. Like, in fact, I have not eyewitness, but second-hand knowledge that he has, in fact, released perfumes before that he's only ever done one take of. Who the fuck does he think he is? Rich Mitch. Rich Mitch does one take stuff. That's what I only don't think you'll get that with a... Well, friends, it's just a couple of days till Christmas. It's been fucking heaving. Jura Rose wants me to show you the painting that he made of his. Jura Rose did a painting of his, which I will show you when more people get in here. Vinny Havana's top shelf stuff. Literally, it's on the top shelf. It's literally on the top shelf. Look, it's back there with all the other Les Indomptables. And there's a, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a Nivea up there, and there is a Guerlain Derby, but there's also a couple of other perfumes which aren't top shelf, but they are on the top shelf. Oh, the print ones I like was Manishtana, nice spicy incense. Ambre Supreme for me, says Dev. Edits for you. Welcome. How are you? Hope you all had a good day. My scent of the day is Hyrax, and I just bought Whiskey Nobile by Pharmacy. SS Annunziata. Excited. Why did I struggle so much with reading and speaking there? Am I having a fucking stroke or something? What's happening here? But welcome, Ed, it's for you. Rich, what's your favourite aldehydic floral? I think I might hate all of them. Name some that you think I would like. I'm not a big floral fan, I've got to be honest. When something smells like flowers, like I like a rose and I like an iris. Could you call tobacco a flower? A floral? Is tobacco a floral? Is this something that we should be clearing up? Is tobacco in fact a floral? Jesus Christ. What have I said? I'm well, how are you, Rich? I'm alright. I've had a pretty sleepy day again. Something's going on with my bad self that is making me sleep a lot. I'm not complaining. There's nothing I love more. You know what I mean? I mean, who wouldn't love to get more sleep? It's just sometimes I sleep for 18 hours a fucking day. 'Tis the season, to be fair. I went out and spent 40 quid on beef today. Wow. And it's top beef as well. And then I went and got a couple of loaves of bread, because I'm not arsed with going out on stuff like Boxing Day and fucking Christmas Eve and shit like that and buying stuff and trying to put everything right and like the worst time for it. I'll not venture out until there's Dura Rose. I'll not venture out until like Wednesday, which is the 27th, maybe the 28th. Fuck that. I know people who are working retail at the minute. Dura Rose, and they are struggling under the sheer weight of the weight of the season. Well, how are you? I'm alright, thank you. Number 19, welcome Spy and Mash, how are you, mate? I've said that as if I haven't already spoken to you loads today, and yesterday, and every day. Talk to Spy and Mash every day, it's class. Probably one of the people I speak to most in life in general. You know what I mean? It's awesome. I have a lot to be thankful for as far as the perfume and the community is concerned. It's outrageous, really. It's fantastic. Oh, excuse me. Got myself another cold bottle of water, like I did. Was it yesterday? So Ramsey did a stream in the middle of the night, which made us sad, because I was like, oh, he's streaming in the middle of the night, so I can't really spend much time. But then, you know, sleep called. I had to go back to sleep. Number 19, Equipage might be the one that's most up your alley. I'm not a big fan of Equipage. Number 5, not a fan of number 5. Encens Mythique, quite aldehydic. People are literally speaking Dutch in the chat. You crack on. I have many sleepy days, says Brian. No doubt that you do. No doubt that you do. It's awesome. Maybe it's a bald thing. Brian, you are bald, aren't you? NXD010, welcome. Speaking the Dutch. DMS, welcome Dushan. DMS says, I'm going to do most of my Xmas cooking done tomorrow. Godspeed to the rest of you. Good luck. Christmas is pagan, says Dura. Torture. Tim says, evening, Rich, and all Wagyu beef? No, not all Wagyu beef. I'm not paying them silly prices. I'm not a massive fan of Wagyu. It depends how it's prepared. Pure Bankson, welcome. How are you? Came for the duck, stayed for the duck. Our Pej review goes up either tomorrow or on Sunday, says Dev. I'll be doing a Christmas Day stream, my friends. I've decided. Christmas is Monday, not Sunday. I'll be doing a gaming stream on Sunday, probably tomorrow. I'll be doing a gaming stream, trying to finish off Red Dead Redemption 2 to the extent that I'm going to, you know. I may have opened Pandora's box here. I've asked Galen and Eugene and Thomas if tobacco is floral, and I'm getting all sorts of fucking remarks. All sorts of answers, I should say. Jura. Scent of the day is Zorro Pour On Vintage. Scent of the day is Sultanate of Oman. Great stuff, actually, says Brian. I was listening to Roger's talk at the Fragrance Foundation earlier. Quite relaxing. I fell asleep. Pico Via Dharma is the one Xerjoff perfume that's good, but it's also prohibitively expensive. There's a surprise. Rich is fluent in Dutch, but doesn't like to show off the kind of guy he is. That's right. That's right. I've been touching up my Dutch. You might be able to get arrested for that, depending on where you do it. But, yes. Hola Germs. Scent of the day is Queer Canage. Nice. I thought about wearing Queer Canage today, but I went with Vanille Havane, and I got a compliment. I got complimented on Vanille Havane. Apparently Van Gogh had a twin. I don't know, to be honest. All double Dutch to me. Oh, Jura, behave. I love Wagyu, but it's definitely not objectively the best form of beef. Wagyu and Angus are neck and neck in terms of best beef for me, says Dev. That's right, Sparrow. Rich also knows a few words in Chinese. Words like Peking duck and egg fried rice. I actually don't know what those are in Chinese, but I do know a few places in China, and I'm a big fan of Chinese culture. I've just got to like absorb it slowly, because it's like, it's so, what's the word I want to use? I don't want to use alien, because that's kind of like others them, and I don't want to other them. But like, it's so exotic, it's so foreign, it's so different. Should have just said different, really. It's so different that it's hard, because there's hardly any reference between my culture and their culture. It's completely different, but it's one of the reasons that I like it so much, you know? Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. I love Wagyu. Oh, sorry. Rich also knows the words. I had 2 Wagyu burgers last night. They were €3 each in the supermarket. I think they figured out the designer oud marketing scheme. Probably 3D printed. Wagyu burgers are a scam, Brian. Wagyu in its truest form is so fatty it would melt as a burger. Good grief, that sounds nice. Duck congee, says Jura. Okay, I'm going to show everybody the painting that Jura Rose did of me when I find it. Where have I put it? There it is. It's on my Chinese coffee table, which I've just thrown the painting on the floor. Are you ready? Brace yourselves. There it is. There it is. Jura Rose painted that. He painted it of me. I like the cap. That's the cap Jura Rose bought us as well, actually. That is the most marvellous Peking duck, and it certainly is Peking. I think it's got a tear. I think that might be a little tear there. I'm not sure. It's like an emo duck, you know? But it's staunch. It's staunch. It's staunch. He's still he stands. Even though he weeps, he still stands. With his hat and his Newcastle scarf. He's got a Newcastle United scarf on. I thought that was a nice touch. Got a little blue feather over here. And it's got a pink background. The likeness is off the wall. Yes, that's right. He's absolutely fucking nailed it, to be fair. It's going on the wall. Never mind off the wall. It's going on the wall. It's going on the wall. I just need I just need someone to help us fucking put it up, because God knows I'll fucking destroy it if I try. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Happy birthday to Eugene. That was yesterday. I'll be making an apology video because the 0.001% real Wagyu in the 88. Yes. So good. Welcome, Bri. How are you? Earlier, I tried Club Design by the Zoo from a sample. Oh dear. The smell equivalent of the orange dye that explodes over those who try to rob a security van. Some of them were so fucking strange that I just couldn't deal. You know what I mean? I did get a bottle of Everlasting for my friend, my abusive friend. But I haven't spoken to her for a couple of weeks now. It's been calm. I kind of feel less stressed and upset and depressed, frankly. What a dapper young lad. It certainly is. That is the most marvellous Peking duck. Stunning. That's so nice. The likeness is off the wall. I remember seeing the flat cap on Rich on one of the mall streams with Jura. Yes. If you search Rich Mitch, you what, mate? You will find it. That needs to be your new profile photo. Van Gogh, eat your hat. Better not eat me hat. You look great in pink, says Jura. Brian, don't worry, I'll make sure I'm the one that gets your collection during the giveaway. I was crying over the current state of Perfume, says Germs. Yes. He's crying. He's just flown past somebody wearing Dior Sauvage again. Or a fucking smelled an amber wood. Brian, I actually think you're onto something there with the Oud and Wagyu comparison. Yeah. They've definitely put Oud in the Wagyu. Or amber wood in the Wagyu. Germs, the current state of perfumery is fine. You just have to look past the pop music of Perfume. Same with actual music. I watched Godzilla -1 last night, says Jura. Stephs says J Rose fire. Jura Rose did thoroughly enjoy his film. My God. Wagyu is closer in comparison to Parmigiano Reggiano than Oud, in my opinion. Do I disagree in the most respectful way, says James. Spy and Mash. That's an amazing film, Jura, says Bri. I haven't seen it. I'm not a big Godzilla fan. I could tell you what happened at the end because I looked up the Wikipedia page. But I won't. I won't bespoil it for you. It was proper. Parmigiano is great with white wine. I don't drink wine. It makes me feel sick. It gives us a headache. The Godzilla Monarch show started off so promisingly and it already sucks now. How many Godzillas are there? You can't just keep going over the same show. I say that, but we'll see that in Perfume all the time. Welcome. How is Rudy? I hope you are well. Merry Christmas. Sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to have two conversations at once and it's not happening. I'm barely managed fucking one. Jura, what's the perfume that most closely resembles a Wong Kar-wai film? A lot of crap, Godzilla. This wine was good. Pat Lester, welcome. How are you? Odd Sere by Naomi. Good, sir. Oh no, they say he's got to go. Who has to go? Do you have to go? Don't go. Go Go. Dev in the Mood for Love is a top 10 for me. This one with costumes and practical effects are hilarious and charming. Godzilla. Not to Godzilla. Go Go Godzilla. It's getting a little bit manga in here. I'm not sure what's going on. Not even sure I understand what I've just said. Oh, I know what perfume Godzilla would wear. I know there was one that Bryan Cranston was in. But apparently that sucked. I said there's no Blue Oyster Cult fans around here. I don't like seafood. Do you know what I haven't worn this year very much? And I was thinking about this the other day, and it's Followed by Kerosene, which is a sensational perfume. I don't like Followed, but I like Follow. Ooh, the juice is dark. T-Rex. Ah, yes, that's right. Yes, it would wear T-Rex. Old Godzilla. I always found it quite strange that Godzilla versus Kong. I think Godzilla would rip Kong to bits. You know what I mean? Got the teeth and all sorts. Once Godzilla must have a hell of a bite. What kind of pressure pounds per square inch do you think? Do you think a bite from Godzilla would be? Be pretty gnarly. Godzilla would wear Sauvage EDT. Why? Because it's annoying now. Godzilla -1 was a 9 out of 10 for me. Just wanted it to hit me in the feels. Everything about it was pretty great, says Carl. Welcome, Carl. Godzilla would wear Ariana Grande Cloud. Well, I can't say I'm being able to fucking make the money, put the money together for a fucking bottle of Baccarat Rouge. Ain't nobody fucking paying. Even Godzilla's hitting the discounters. Do you know what I mean? Ooh, that's interesting. Spoke to Pradeep today. Pradeep, our friend, who is he's at home for Christmas, seeing his parents. Not that I don't know that he celebrates Christmas, but he's at home in India seeing his parents, and he sent me a link. And there is a discounter in Europe called Beauty Now. Beauty with an I. So it's Beauty with an I instead of a Y, and then Now. And they are they are going to be selling the Amouage gold and crystal, like the bottles, like the special bottles, the new ones that they brought out a couple of months ago. They're hitting the discounters already. You've got to be a member, a VIP member, which means you've got to have already spent €1,000 on the site. And they... Where's the picture? There it is. There we go. Crystal and gold, only available for VIPs with limited stocks. All members of our VIP only group will get the chance to purchase the Amouage limited edition 40th anniversary bottle at a special price. Become our VIPs. More information. BeautyNow.com. Amouage Crystal Gold limited edition perfumes. Get your Google Lens on that. Because they only made 500 and it's now already hitting the discounters. You know what I mean? That's what you get for fucking charging $2,000 for a stupid bottle. Godzilla -1. Sorry, Godzilla would wear on. That's Godzilla 100%. Blue Oyster Cult, yes. Trying to play Don't Fear the Ripper riff. Not very well, says Tim. How's your heart? Are you still in hospital? I hope you're okay. Beauty Now is legit, but they do have sketchy testers, numbers scratched off, etc. All the distributors here are trying to sue them, lol, says Brian. Yes. Yes. They are fighting the good fight. Fucking Fuck the fucking distributors. Fuck the companies trying to fucking keep the prices artificially high with that fucking madness. Consumer gets kicked in the bollocks every fucking time. You know what I mean? What you doing charging fucking £2,000 for a bottle? Dickheads. You know what I mean? Beauty now, suit tomorrow, says Euros. I've ordered from them twice, no issues with them, says DMS. I still can't believe they have free shipping to Israel, which is outrageous, says Dev. All Beauty, yes. All Beauty's outrageous. Notino, I don't know if they ship to Israel. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to need to dehydrate in a minute. I don't know. Notino does not. Oh dear. I'm home, Rich. I feel a bit fine. I feel fine if a bit tired. Just bought a pill organizer for all the new drugs. Yeah, Dorset box. Yeah, it's not very much fun. I could do with a fucking Dorset box, to be honest with you, but I've got my own little system in my head, and it works. I know what I'm doing. Take that phone and look up Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult and let's rock out. No. I won't. Bilbo, you troll. Dave Rich found a lot of Balenciaga poor arm in Israel. He depleted your stocks. I have indeed bought from Israel Balenciaga poor arm. No issues at all. I did buy a bottle of something and they sent me the wrong one. Alright, and then they were like, oh, send it back. And I was like, I can't ship abroad. Why have you sent me the wrong perfume? So what ended up happening was I had to get in touch with eBay and I was like, look, this is the crack. They want us to send it back to California for some reason. I was like, why do they want us to send it to California? And they were like, look, all you can do is send it to where return it, send it to where you fucking, and get proof of postage, and whether it gets there or not is immaterial. They were like, you've got to show that you tried to send it back. Once you've shown that you tried to send it back, we'll refund your money, regardless of what happens. I was like, right, no problem. If that's what you want. Never heard anything back. So I assume they got it back. But I don't know. I got my money back and I just left it there. It's all about the juice, not that I know someone would know. No, you're right, Spy and Mush. You're absolutely right. There's a real fucking problem at Amouage at the minute. Like, the bank balance is growing, but the fucking perfume's showing. You know what I mean? Their lack of how can I put it? They have lost their position as a leading perfume brand. And when I say they've lost it, it's not as if other brands have overtaken them. They've yielded it. You know what I mean? They've literally just like handed it over. They've stopped. They've gone in the wrong direction. If their direction was to start making more money, then they've done well. But I mean, I could run a perfume brand and do that. Like, it's not hard to do that. You know, they smell a bit like data-driven perfumes now. Interesting to see what happens with is it the House of Oud or Thameen, where Christopher Chong is. I've got to sit here and say, I say this as somebody who's not a massive fan of Amouage. I'm not a massive fan, I never was. You know, like everybody would go on about reflection and imitation and fucking God, what's the other ones? Like the really hyped ones. And I'd just be like, I just didn't like them, like. So I'm not sure that Famine or even under Christopher Chong, I just don't think Christopher Chong's thing is for me. Jubilation 25 is one of the best fragrances I've smelled. I absolutely fucking love that shit. As is Dear Man. I had the Gentleman's Cologne, which I sold to Audrey Jane. That is, even though I don't like it, I can appreciate the fact. Who was I talking to today? I was talking to someone today, I think it was Jonathan, and I was like, do you know what it is? That Gentleman Cologne is one of the finest pieces of perfume. It's one of the finest bits of perfume. That vintage Gentleman's Cologne is one of the finest bits of perfume I have smelled, but I don't like it. Like, objectively. Big pissy floral thing. Not for me. Rose, I have a decant, mate. It's fine. It hasn't impressed me as much as Mitsuko anyway. Do I hope there's some of the Leon left. Sharing is caring, rich. But what kind of law stops you from sending something abroad? Dangerous Goods Act. The Dangerous Goods Act. You cannot be shipping that shit on aeroplanes or boats. Rose, there is no Le Leon in Israel. There is no Les Exclusives at all, actually, except the Gardenia my mum has. Bought a Leon last night. Gets better with every wear, says Spy and Mash. I can't just not. No. Amouage is always on discounters. What's the point of the £200,000 shit show? It's an absolute. It is. They're just trying to position themselves by saying, "Look, we're charging a hell of a lot of money, so it must be good." You know what I mean? Just going after the Veblen goods aspect, which is absolute bollocks. I'm not saying anything, says Dura, but I don't disagree. Thameen has Chong. Chong has Thameen. DMS says, Rich Mitch's Amberwood Emporium. Can't wait until you're raking the millions. It would be the simplest thing. Easiest thing in the world. And you've just got to get someone with a posh accent to pimp them out. You've got to have. I wouldn't go down the influencer marketing thing if I was going to go for the upscale. If I was going to go for the upscale type perfumes that I was going to charge a fortune for. Because I think influencer marketing cheapens a brand massively. Thameen is where Chris is, but the releases aren't anything to write home about. Thameen are meh for me. Alcohol is dangerous goods. Yep, says Brian. It's the most popular ones are just Tom Ford clones. Yep. It's the quality of their materials that gets me with Amouage Pre Samon. Yeah, they were really good. Jubilation 40 is as good as Jubilation 25 in my top 23 for 2023, says Brian. I finally found out what Patchouli Noisette smells like. Jubilation Man. I don't see that whatsoever. I actually threatened to wear Patchouli Noisette today. It's only in England as I can see. Dushan, no. You can send perfumes internally in England, so I can send perfume from one place in England to another place in England, but it cannot leave the country because it's got to go on an aeroplane and it's dangerous goods. I don't know about other countries. Divine says, did I hear pissy floral? Are we talking about Patchouli Magnetique again? No, I don't get pissy florals from Patchouli Magnetique. That's in the entire EU, says Brian. I love Goldman, but I have no idea from what era my decant is, says Paroli. The finest men's fragrance I've ever smelled is either heritage or equipage, leaning towards equipage, says Dev. Yeah, said that straight away. A bit disappointing in my opinion from Les and Demodable. Brian, no, I got my hashish home from Italy to Hungary. You can't ship within Europe, I just think you've got a fib about it, like. Chong doesn't move far as both brands had have in Knightsbridge. Amawaja's shop closed down, says Spiderman. Ah. Is that where he's lurking? Is it in Knightsbridge? I see. Zara Porom is also good, but not anywhere near the best masculine, says Dev. At the end of the day, prices are driven by retail margins, says Divine. Brian, I am glad someone else noticed it. Prices are driven by what people will pay for it. And I believe that we will see a correction. But I can't see that perfumes will start going down in price. I can't see that they'll start going down in price at all. I sent 200 packages, but that doesn't mean it's legal. I had 3 stopped at the border officially. You cannot ship perfumes unless it's dangerous goods. Discounted where? What do you mean? I didn't like Patchouli Noisette either, says Part of Ephemeral. I really liked it when I first smelled it, and then I went off it a bit, and now I'm sort of coming to terms with it again. You know, I've not tried it. They don't have it in Israel. I can quote you from the Zerjov Suspiro dispute that they had in the European court. 2011, Suspiro perfume products were sold to Selfridges between 15th of September. It's £94 a bottle. "2011 Suspiro perfume products were sold to Selfridges between 15th of September 2016 and the 4th of January. So that's 2 years and a few months. 2,000 perfumes in fucking 2 years. That's not a lot, is it? £94 a bottle. Brian So Rich can also send packages. No, he can't. I'm not in the EU. It can't go overseas. I'm telling you, I've tried. The amount of times I've tried with Ramsey. I tried to ship Ramsey so many packages. Like, me and him tried. We wasted hundreds on shipping costs. Because they would just get found and they would get returned to us. If I was lucky, twice they got returned. They can, in fact, destroy them at the border. But I was very fortunate that twice they got returned. Once it took them a few weeks to return it. The second time it was the next day. And that was a private company, DHL. You have to have a dangerous goods license to ship abroad, and they have to be in the original packaging with seal. They have to be sealed in the original packaging. You have to have a dangerous goods license, which you've got to pay like 1,200 quid for. And then, even then, that only allows you to ship about 30ml bottles, because that's what Peter does from Fragrance View. That's why his bottles are 30ml. To get the bigger ones, to get the ones where you can send 100ml bottles, you've got to get an advanced one. All right, I cannot ship perfume abroad. You just can't. They catch it. I've shipped samples before, but that's it. I thought you just smuggled budgies, Rich. I do not. What dispute Divine? They're owned by the same guy. Trademark Suspiro basically went fucking independent. So he split it and sold it off. Because it was independent and merged. I have not smelled it Duchamp, and I've smelled the Parfum de Therese. When I got Chypre Siam from Rogue, the package was labelled bath oil. Neat. Yeah. Other countries aren't as strong on it as we are. We're extremely fucking, because with ours, it's got to go overseas. You know what I mean? And if it does that, it means it's got to be on a fucking on an aeroplane usually. And I got sheep this evening. Welcome, Andrish. 2 Tim Wilcox, the reason it was labelled bath oil is because he doesn't have a dangerous goods license. And the reason he doesn't have a dangerous goods license is because if he did, he'd have to be regulated. That's even true inside the EU. I have a mail from Hermes Shipping Germany that they open my package and won't deliver it, says Brian. Shipping is scary stuff. Might try and order from the Frenchman next. Yes, says Cole. Yeah, my stuff that I get off him, he marks. I can't remember what he marks it as, but what he does is, if I bought 4 perfumes off him, he sent each one in a different package, so I've got to pay 25 quid package for each different one. You know what I mean? If I want it. So the reason that you've got to do that is because if one package gets caught, it's much easier to find one package than if he sends 4. Like 3 of them might get through. You know what I mean? I need to go to dehydrate. I'll be back in a second. We will continue this conversation about the mysteries of the packaging and hello. I'm back. Yes, the ins and outs of shipping perfume out of Britain I am extremely familiar with. And it is not possible. And it's not a risk I'm willing to take. If somebody wants to do it, it will be at their fucking risk, not mine. So, that's what I said to Ramsey when I sent it the second time to try and get to him. I said, look, if these go awry, mate, it's on you, not me. I'm happy to hold on to them. So where are we? Shipping is scary stuff. Yeah, the Frenchman, I don't know what he marks them as, mate. But I've never had a problem, touch wood. I've got this last parcel to come. And then I will be able to send that to Stuart and Mabe. Shipped from EU to a US outside the EU maybe 30 times and only had issues 3 times. Good for you. DJ, have you smelled Sultan Pasha's Violet Noy? Suspiria was just a joint venture between Momo and a corner that they wanted to use to target the Middle Eastern market. It was a thing before Zerzhov, basically, says Divine. It's gorgeous, DJ. Survive Rich. I have friends in Sheffield, so you can send Ramsey's packages to them and they can bring that to my country. From here, I can send them to Ramsey when my friend goes to Washington, if that's all right with Ramsey, but on his head be it. I think Richie marks it as essential oils, and here we are again. Evening, gents. Welcome, boss. Does he pack 2-in-1 package or 1-in-1 package? Sometimes he's done 2-in-1 package before, but usually just one in each package in case one gets caught. Yep, market as alcohol free or glass art, but if they open it, chance you're screwed. Absolutely. It's Devon Argos, but the best one, we'll see about that. Brian, if it's summer, you can mark it as essential oils. I wouldn't even mark it as that. I would just put as glass figurines. I've seen that happen before. Big Arab market in London, hence Harrods exclusives that Xerjoff pumps out. Yep. Scent of the day, modern version, Egoist, by the way. Smoky. Smoky, eh? The Buzz. The best one is Triumph of Bacchus, but it's not as good as my favourites. It's probably saying not touching Argos unless it's the chit-chat shit about them, says Divine. Well, bear yourself, because I'm thinking of doing them after the Neil of Emirs, actually. Apple pie for the desert of the night. Apple pie. Rich, what's your favourite perfume that released before the 1960s? Quaderusi, maybe? Until I can think of another one, probably Quaderusi. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Scent of the day, Amouage Overture Woman from a sample. First impression is that it is better than the men's, thankfully. Overture Woman is almost as good as Overture Man. Bro, what are you talking about? Xerjoff barely has any Harrods exclusives. I think it's just Hermetic and Verde Accente currently. I might be forgetting something, but they'd be older. I found the men's too boozy and a little loud and harsh smelling. Prefer Overture Woman. The man is too much. I don't take much interest in the old Amouages, to be honest. I think I've smelled them all, and I've just been like, pfft, not something I want to get involved with, to be honest with you. Same as Bond number 9. I'm not saying they're as bad as Bond number 9. Rich, just mark your parcels with Xerjoff and the customs will let them pass to get rid of it. If only it was that simple. If only it were that simple. Brian, it might be the same, but it's because I prefer feminines to masculines, says Dev. I'm not massive on a lot of traditionally feminine perfumes, to be honest. Line Bellam is my favourite. Les Abstray's Bellam is my favourite, says Dev. Otto Wallen fighting Joshua tomorrow. Bond number 9's New Harlem. To be fair, this sticker hasn't come off. It's probably the most impressive thing about the film. I mean, the lids are absolute tat. Generally, I think Amouage's men's are a lot better. Epic being the big exception. Welcome, PK. Vintage Jules. Nice. There were a couple well-blended feminine scents this year. Sweet fruity fruituli solar florals. Ooh. Yuck. Overture Woman reminds me of it. Christoph, how are you? Overture Woman reminds me if they made a more fresher version of Frappant 1270. Frappant 1270, I really loved that a long time ago. I really loved that. And then I really loved for £1, 12.70, and then I bought a bottle of it and I smelled it again and I was like, whoa, this is far too sweet. This is sickly sweet. Far too much. Far too much. Like, and it became cloying, like Brian says, it's a bit cloying. It was more than a bit cloying. I had to sell it. I couldn't hack it. Oh shit! I couldn't hack it. I was wounded by it. Wounded. It was deeply upsetting. I am my own person, says Dev, but I am a bit inspired by Eugene, yes. Rich is a solid bloke, though. Thank you, Dev. I'm fine. Put some Lagerfeld Jacko on my wrist before going to bed. Are you a fan? Those nearer than me, I nearly killed me yesterday. I was absolutely dying. I could still smell them when I woke up this morning. I could still smell them when I woke up this morning. It was, I've got an itchy foot. Fuck's sake. Brian, what do you think of Nishane Annie? Kind of a guilty pleasure for me. Like, I hate it, but I love it nonetheless. Weird thing is, people say Pallas Athene is feminine, but I'm not really feeling it. I find that with a lot of gourmands, it's like stuffing yourself with too much sweet food. Yeah, they're overly sweet, you know? Like, that kiddies' perfumes, that's what they smell like. The smell too rich, too sweet, too, like, you've had too many chocolates or something like that, you know what I mean? But like cheap chocolate, and it's too much sugar, makes up too much of the recipe, you know? Too much of the formula, too much of the recipe. I can't be dealing with stuff like that. I feel like my taste is evolving, it's changing, it's going through bits and bobs, you know? Athena herself was not a feminine goddess, really, says Boz. Greetings, Triplet. Wearing the inimitable Iquitos today. I haven't worn Iquitos for a long time. I went through a phase with Iquitos where I fucking loved it. Annie is nothing like Shalimar, says Brian. Annie is also not a gourmand in my opinion. It's very aromatic and sharp. Shalimar is like a 1940s noir film, but Nishane Annie is like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Different spaceships in my mind. Derby will hate it after vintage Shalimar. I love it. The best Nishane along with Nefs. Have issues with the brand, but Annie is a modern classic. Isn't that the Aventus clone? I own a bottle of Annie, but I can't stand it anymore, says Christoph. Sandra B says, haha, do not get me started on gourmand. I feel like it is in the food industry. Gourmand fragrances use a lot of sweetness, sugar to high poor ingredient quality. Yeah, I think that there's just the overdose of sweetness has just overtaken the need for decent perfume. Hatchavat is the Aventus clone with the house. Ah, got you. Got you. Annie X is solid too, and the X line is terrible, but Annie OG is much more interesting. The Aventus clone is Hatchavat, got you. Imperium is the Annie plus Aventus clone. That's an Electimus. And Hatchavat is the Aventus clone within the house, yep. The Aventus clone is a Hatchavat rich. Annie is the lemon vanilla. Ooh. So it's an Allurom Sport O Extreme clone. Isn't that the one? The lemon meringue pie thing? Grim. Grim. It's pretty yuck. The closest to Annie is Bijon Aura Sublime. Same perfume. I got some 1986 Shalimar Parfum off Etsy from an antique cutlery dealer. Great score that. Oh, well done. Ah, yes, the Lemon Vanilla is Allure Arm Edition Blanche. It's very hard to keep up with that line, isn't it? If Rich smelled Hachivat, he would have a new worst fragrance he ever smelled, says Carl. I don't know. Ispazon's pretty awful. Ispazon is probably the worst. It's going to have to be pretty fucking awful for me to think that it's worse than Ispazon. Ispazon is an absolutely foul demon. Carl Anderson, Rich already smelled Uncut Gem. That's also terrible. Stuart Mabe, I was just talking about you before. The man from Japan sent me 2 parcels which arrived, and one of them was not cologne concentrate. So I am expecting another parcel either between Christmas and New Year, or I'm expecting it. When am I expecting it? I am expecting it in the new year. Sorry, I had a massive brain fart there. Christoph, thank you very much. Christoph has bought me a coffee. Thank you, my friend. Allure Sport Edition Blanche is lemon tart. That's Dura Rose, that. Brian, if you want to talk about insult, let's bring Keali. What happened, Richie started to read my message but then skipped it. I don't know. Thank you, Christoph. Good night, mate. Always with the early nights, as Christoph goes to bed at the same time. I envy that about Christoph, actually. That must be extremely good for you. The Boz, Sandra says, I used to love Gourmand as a teen, but I've evolved since. You cannot say you have an evolved nose and only enjoy Gourmand. Do cringe when I see most women tasting fragrance, says Sandra. Keali is mediocre, but not all bad. Plus not as expensive as Nishane. It can get a lot worse, and it will. Most insulting release this year is YSL Myself, though. Really a very, very terrible perfume. That really is quite bad. Along the lines of Dior Homme 2020, which I also thought was absolutely fucking, like, insulting's probably the best word for it. Like, it's generic shit perfume. The thing with Myself is, as well, is that the thing with Myself is that it's in one of the like that little exclusive line bottle that they've got. It's in that, and yet it's not an exclusive. It's not an exclusive perfume. It's just the regular line. It's absolute bollocks, mate. Excuse me. Fuck's sake. Friends, I haven't asked. If you would like to like the stream, please like the stream. Thank you. Uncut Gem was also insulting, but I don't think it was this year. Was it this year? I don't think it was. I think it was last year. Well, I bet I miss out on some fun that happens past 10 p.m, but I'll be sure. But I'll sure be nice and rested when I get up. I'm sure you will. You'll feel better. You'll feel good. It's only 9 o'clock, yeah. Brian, if I ever smell myself, I'd probably KMS. Says Dev. Carmina was bad. I know some have Blue Moon as the worst. Others have Ganymede Extra. Ugh. Carmina is absolutely shit. It's absolutely rotten, especially for Creed prices. It's good evening, Adam D. Welcome. Oh. Myself equals YSL Libra mixed with Wet Dog and Sephora concentrated. Good grief. No problem. I've added to my collection this week a non-magnetic cap Diamant. Nice. Diamant's lovely. A vintage Fate Man and a green Au Noir. So I've got plenty to wear before Egoist turns up. Nice. A green Au Noir. Yes, the old green juice. I do love the old green juice. Myself and other cringy names that plays with their name. Brian, holy shit, the new YSL Libra Plus Secretions Magnifique Hybrid Libra Secretions Intense. Oof. I don't mind the Carmina smell at all, but it smells like a $5 gas station product. Yeah. Insulting. Somebody in the chat before used the word insulting. I think it was you, Brian, about a release. And that is kind of what a lot of perfume releases feel like these days. They feel insulting. You know, they feel as though they're taking the piss out of you and they're trying to tell you that it's good perfume. And you know it's not. And it's that kind of the jaws. You know what I mean? It feels like somebody's grabbed you by the bollocks and just twisted. You know what I mean? And laughed while they've done it. Like, it's not fun, that. This year was Heaven Can Wait, Rich. I didn't right. So Heaven Can Wait I thought was disappointing but not insulting. I didn't like Heaven Can Wait. I kind of thought it was alright and I dilly-dallied for a bit, but the more time I've spent with it, the more I've found that I genuinely just don't like Clove. I don't like Clove as the main star of the show. I don't mind a little bit of Clove, but as the main fucking as the main ingredient, as like the note the fragrance is built around. It's dry and dusty and horrible. It's not for me. Stuart, maybe I have that vintage Diamant. It's very soft and elegant, the best peony. This year was Heaven Can Wait, Rich. Good evening, Adam D. Saffron. I don't think there are enough fragrances with saffron in it. You should try it. You should try a Kajal called Warwick. Warek. Warwick by Kajal. Massive, oily saffron thing. Crazy. If you include the price, performance, and blend quality, then the rank is justified, says Divine. Yeah, you've got to take them as a whole picture. I mean, you can't split it off into just the smell. Like, if you do the same thing with Strangelove, Melt My Heart, it's just the price makes it a bit shit. It takes away from the perfume, but... Oh yes, the old swamp juice. Welcome, Western Oud. Excuse me. Wow. Hi, Dushan. I have yet to try out the Diamant. Looking forward to it. I like Diamant. I've got Diamant as well. It's a lovely peony thing. Heaven Can Wait was Wet Dog too. Heaven Can Wait. I must admit, I've like, if I never smell it again, I won't be sad. You know what I mean? Like, I won't be sad if I never smell it again. So I just couldn't. I can't imagine wearing it. You know what I mean? Uncut Gem was definitely an insult. Yeah, I really enjoy Heaven Can Wait though. I can understand why people would enjoy it, but Uncut Gem, I can't understand how anybody could sit there and say, "Oh, I want a bottle of that for that price." Fucking bonkers. I just don't understand it. I don't hate on people who want to buy it. I hate on the perfume because it's fucking dog shit. But the actual fucking people who buy it, I mean, it's your money. You do what you want. You know what I mean? But Jesus Christ. Dev says, God, I can't believe I only start my academic year the week after the next. The situation here is abhorrent. Yes, mate, look after yourself. Keep your head down. Strange that you start an academic year in January, though. They usually start in September. Although I might be completely out of line with the Israeli system. Add the PR on top, and that's just you getting spit on twice, Sue's Divine. I know there's that one like Clive Christian that a cinnamon and clove works quite well there. I like clothing, curry, Sue's Dev. I wish Heaven Can Wait was more floral and a tad less sweet, but I like it. Found a vintage crab tree sienna this week. A very, very enjoyable leather. Also 50ml vintage and taste. May have enough now, says Tripler. Eric Beauty Bar Oud Saffron Flower was epic. Unfortunately, the brand is gone. What happened to them? That's why I cannot agree with anybody ranking Jubilation 40 top 3. The performance and price tend that sent by 10 plus ranks. Same with Papillon. Prices are relevant mostly for me. Yeah, but you get loads of stuff for free, Brian. That's why prices are relevant for you, man. Prices are relevant. Pay for it if you want, can't or don't. As long as people are willing to pay for it, it's irrelevant. For a rich person, Jubilation 40 is cheaper than my deodorant is for me. It is relative. It is relative. If prices are relevant, then what's even the point of the rank? Ensor, Reach, Clive Christian, Royal Crown, Nishani, Prestige, Amouage Extra will every year, every single year? Not really, because I don't necessarily think Clive Christian's a good brand. I don't think Nishani, Prestige are good. I don't think Ensor and Arige are very good either. They're just not what I think are good. Heaven Can Wait might be a good Christmas scent. The clothing it is very much Christmas feels. The best perfume with saffron I smelled this year was Basmati Rose by Sultan Pasha. Extremely evocative of Indian takeaway spiced rice in the best way. At the end of the day, most of the demographic in this are not buying Ensar, Arige, Clive Christian, Royal Crown, etc. Welcome, Mark Sampson. Evening all late at the party game, but better late than never. So ranking those scents top, knowing they cost $500 plus feels very deceitful. The academic year starts right now because of what's happening here, Rich. All the faculty and students are away on the front lines. Oh my Jesus. Right, okay. That is grim as fuck. Don't get conscripted if you can help it, man. Just for your own safety. I don't know that the army would have me. In fact, they wouldn't have me. I'd be more of a fucking hindrance. Well, I am willing to try it, Dev. How is it deceitful if they are better than other things I smelled personally? Price has nothing to do with that. The Boz, you and Argos, me and Pilton Pasha, it's just how it is. I bought my Ensar though, and a region my other 3 Amouages. Yes. It's almost like there's a correlation between product quality and its pricing. So if you aren't denting costly product for the fact it's less approachable, the end result is predictable. I didn't understand that. Best releases I've smelled, not my recommendations for people on a budget to buy. It's just the best releases I've smelled. Rich, have you tried any fragrances by Evanescence? Yes, I've tried them all. I did a first impressions video on them. I was not impressed. I was not impressed. The thing with prices, right, is that I think it adds to the. I think it adds it's a vital part of the context of perfume. You have to put the price tag on it to add to the context, you know? Like this is the problem with like getting stuff for free. It removes that aspect from the review. I'm not targeting Brian here. I'm not targeting anybody here. What I'm saying is that I think that when you get something for free, you are the product. You cannot appreciate fully. You may be able to appreciate, but not fully, the wholeness, the three-dimensionality of the perfume, because that context has been removed. You know? So it's vital. It's absolutely vital. It's a vital piece of the puzzle. It's a vital part of the process, which is just being skipped over. And it does affect the ability to analyze it. Pardon me. I've lost my place now. Where is it? Best releases I've smelled, not my recommendations for people on a budget to buy. It's just the best releases I've smelled. Rich, have you tried any fragrances by Evanescence? Yes, and I wasn't impressed. Is there, though, by that logic, none of the famous art on the planet is good? No. You can't own it, though. You can't tell other people to buy those pieces of art. Like, it's a different thing. You're comparing apples and oranges, like. If it's expensive, then it's obviously good. That's a prime example of market demand. No. Veblen goods. Veblen goods. If something is expensive, doesn't mean that it's good. If something is expensive, it means that it's expensive. It's part of the psychological aspect of trying to sell something. And a lot of people with more money than sense will go out there and they will try and buy it as a status symbol. Oops. They're all worth millions. It costs as much to make as your neighbour painting in his attic. If it's expensive, then it's obviously good. There's a prime example of market demand. Brian, price is relevant to some degree, in my opinion. Sarah may be incredible, but when the price is, you start to think differently about Sarah. I'm not even rich, so no, it's not an issue. It is a massive issue. It's fundamental to the product. It's fundamental to it. I got more to boot because mine was running out, says DJ. Something to do was Aramis Tobacco Reserve, but testing out La Deleuze Exquise by Les Abstraits this evening, says Mark. And I would rank it like that regardless if I could buy it or not. I don't know, plenty of my top list. Many beauties in art are just relative. Mozart's music is an absolute beauty. Prokofiev. Dev says I got exempt from the service because I have Asperger's and Crohn's disease. In short, I am woefully incapacitated, so I lucked out and dodged the IDF. Better than being out there being killed and killing. I got 30 grand in free retail perfumes over 4 years. If that skews my vision so much, anyone making 25% more than my salary also has a skewed opinion. No, it's different because you were given those things for free. It's not about earning money and spending it. Like, someone who gets it for free literally didn't spend it though. You know what I mean? It's a gift. It's free. It's free. If something's free, if something is free, right, then it doesn't matter how much you earn. It has no monetary value. But the people who read your reviews have to pay for it. So it's not an even playing field. It would be all right if these companies gave everybody free bottles, you know, but they don't. My friends coming in tomorrow, it'll be a whole day party and Vespa bosses do shit. I don't know what that means. If I rank without touching price, the cheap trash would go to the bottom and almost every cent above €400 would be top 20, 30. What if you didn't know the price? That's the thing. You know the price. So if you did it, that's why scientists do double blind tests. They do it double blind, so you literally have to work on how you feel because humans are massively affected by the context of things. Massively. You know? Asperger's and Crohn's. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Mind you, in my top 50, I think with 8 gifted products, I spent more money on the others than most. It's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant at all. It's massively relevant. All the worst illnesses have German names. How come? Because German scientists are extremely good, and they figure out stuff like that. The Asperger's is fine enough, but frankly, I only have to contend with Crohn's as an illness. Asperger's is just another thing that makes me who I am. Yeah, because it's like you're born like that. It's like a trait, a mental trait. Veblen goods are part of an economic theory. The amount of goods that actually qualify under it in the real economy is minimal. Perfume does. I would say that the Veblen goods qualify hugely in the perfume space, hugely, and the fashion space. You can see that by the rate at which fashion houses have put their prices up. Jacob did a video today about how the gap between the richest and the poorest are getting bigger, and how the fashion houses are enjoying it. He did it about fashion, but you can directly apply it because what it is it becomes a status symbol. You know, it becomes a status symbol whereby owning all of this shit. I mean, you could say that even just by me putting my fucking background the way it is, it's like a status thing. You know, it's a status thing. Look what I've got. You know, that's essentially what it is. I mean, that's you know what I'm saying. It's the same thing with watches. All these. The thing is that we're dealing with luxury products here. You know what I mean? We're not reviewing fucking like essential fucking goods here. None of us. It's just. I totally disagree that maybe in the wider economy Veblen goods are not as profligate. No, that's the wrong word. They're not as common. But in the space we occupy, they absolutely are. In fact, I would say that a lot of what we experience as perfume content absorbers is Veblen, the Veblen effect. Price means nothing in my opinion. I've smelled junk at massive price tags and junk at tiny price tags. I wouldn't say price is not. I would never say that price is irrelevant. But I agree that you can smell shite at all price points, no doubt. It's kind of part of my opinion. Part of like the point I'm making is that you can get a lot of shit. Like Divine said before that most of the stuff that was €400 plus in his collection would get to like the top of his thing. But what if you didn't know? And that's part of the Veblen effect. So you can't say organic chicken tastes better because it's very expensive and a lot of families can't afford it. You can separate best from a to buy recommendation, which I don't indulge in anyway. It's opinion. I agree it's opinion, but your opinion is swayed. You wouldn't get to smell that stuff if you didn't get it. You know? You wouldn't own that bottle. You get the chance to have it, which will affect your opinion. Price as an indicator of quality means nothing. I agree, DJ. It's more of a fact. I agree with that as well. Price as an indicator of quality is not. It's not there. It's a vague, passing, fucking glance of an indication. It's not an indicator massively at all. You can tell that by the price of a lot of what do you call it? A lot of perfumes, like a lot of like the Dior private blends. You know what I mean? Shit. The Tom Ford 50 mils now, over 200 quid. I bought Papillo myself though, and then saw on a resale. Then price for those is irrelevant when I list them. With Jubilation, it's a problem because that was gifted. That's just narrow-minded, given that it's stated that it's gifted. No, it's just there's a question. There's a question mark over it. You know what I mean? And people will ask questions. It's not narrow-minded. I'm not being narrow-minded at all. Recommendations are an indirect result of a best of list. Will be ignorant. This is one thing that I don't like as well, are lists. Like I don't agree with rank, like the human proclivity for ranking things rankles with me. I don't like ranking things. Like I'll do it every once in a while because it can be like a fun sort of exercise, but the way that we are as a community now, people are being financially incentivized to do it, you know? And we know from testimony that companies who are like who are sending influencers. We know from testimony that companies that send influencers products will stop sending them, right, if they get unfavorable reviews. We know that. Recommendations are an indirect result of a best of list. It's like an advanced leather work, Chanel bag. The Chanel bag is shite leather work, just a label, but you're paying for the name mainly. Everything else second. I agree with that. If I didn't know the price, most expensive scents would still come to the top. Not all of them would, but most of them would. But you can't say that because you do know the price. I also bought Epic 56 myself, and it's in my top 10. Meanwhile, I got King Blue Road to Bottle Guidance for free, and I don't care for any of them, and gave them away. The thing is, you can do that. Somebody reading your reviews can't. You can sort between what you like and what you don't like. You talk about what you do like, and you don't talk about what you don't like. Other people can't do that. A lot of the better blended product is still expensive. They just tend to lack the performance and cost a ton. Great example from 2023 is Hatchavat Oud, Eternum, Elysium O Intense, Papio, Jubilation 40, and Dia 40. I'm waiting for Greggy Boy to get those in, especially Jubilation 40. I'll buy that straight away. Get a decant of that and talk about it. Town and Country, AM, Florian, maybe some others too, like Gladiator Road. I don't know what any of those is. Gladiator Road is fucking awful, says DJ. Hello, Rachel, how are you? What's Gladiator Road? That's a stupid name. That makes us just hate it anyway. That's another thing I found as well. There's loads of fucking terrible fucking names kicking about at the minute. Prolific, says DMS. Don't crowd, Rachel. Power name for a white frag boss. I'd equate our fragrance to Bois Sahara to Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Too expensive to be value for money, but for the right people, it's perfect. It's exclusionary. That's kind of how a lot of these brands, like watch brands as well, luxury items, they're very exclusionary. So certain people can have them, and certain other people can't have them, and you have to be in the club, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're allowed in. You're not allowed in. You can afford this or not afford this. And then it skews the mark when someone gets something like that for free, because it makes them think, well, they can afford it, but they can't afford it. They get it for free. I'd say majority of the time prices are relevant. A lot of people with no business assuming what's in a bottle, making massive assumptions. That's it. You see, that's how you get in there, playing for exclusivity. That's how they get in there. That the play on that doubt, the play on that kind of like. That's a lot of what sales is. See you later, Paul Buffano. Thank you. Like the play on that kind of. The play on that kind of human. That human aspect where you're not, where you don't know something and you're looking for like advice, you're looking to learn something, you're looking to try and find something out, and it's the skill of the salesperson. It's the skill of the person you're learning and taking information from that will determine how the producer will be able to sell. You know, that's why salespeople are like, they get training. You know. Oh fuck! I've lost my place. Hold on. Power now. Oh, fuck me, man. Boss for Men is awful. The worst fragrance I've ever smelled. Says Dev. Price can be a ruse, a con trick. I agree. Relevant context is I have massive exposure to mainstream niche and no house DNAs. I'd be more likely to have false negatives. Saying expensive is cheap rather than otherwise. That's correct. These days, price indicates almost nothing. Yeah. There's a massive tuberose note in it. Well, no, price doesn't indicate nothing. Price indicates whether you can afford it or not. And price indicates it's the kind of the Instagram life or the YouTube life. You know those people who do the lifestyle things, which is what Perfume's part of in a lot of respects. Let's be honest, because influencers are not perfume lovers in a lot of interest, in a lot of instances. Sorry. So what they are offering is a lifestyle. And price will indicate that you live a certain lifestyle, that you can have a certain lifestyle. It's outside the scope of perfume, like just smelling perfume. But that's what I'm saying. This is why price and paying for things and not getting them for free is so important. It's extremely important. The rise of free bottles has skewed our ability. And the price, like, it's not just perfume either. It's everything. These lifestyle fucking channels have destroyed fucking human beings' abilities to fucking judge the real world. You know what I mean? It's mental. Could be 50p worth of Wiener on the bottle. They could ask for 600. Doesn't mean it would smell bad. That's correct. These days, price indicates almost nothing relevant context. Price can be a ruse, a con trick. It's a very accurate criticism to highlight PR product as well as exclusion of price and performance in one's assessments. Rating just the profile should come with a huge disclaimer, which it rarely ever does, let's be honest. Certainly not on YouTube. You don't get fucking disclaimers on YouTube, rarely now. Nobody at all. Nobody puts this as a sponsored video when it qualifies as a sponsored video. So where do you draw the line on price? Les Indomitable per mil is more expensive, and nobody would bat an eyelid on that brand. I have said before that I think Les Indomitables are expensive, like. But I also think it's some of the finest perfumery, like contemporary perfume in the world today, if not the finest. You know what I mean? They don't have ingredients that you smell elsewhere. You know? That's what I like about Les Indomitables. They smell very unique to their own brand. I love lists. Here's my top 5 people in the chat. I better be fucking there. Vintage Hugo Boss #1. This Devs knows is the worst place I've been, says Duchamp. What's expensive for you is affordable for others. Well, free to those who can afford it, very expensive to those who can't. You know? People who get free bottles don't have to worry about that. And then they opine that something is great and make people who can't afford it want it. FOMO is another massive issue. I've struggled with FOMO, of course I have. I've got loads of fucking discontinued and vintage perfumes. You could be argued, I could argue with myself about whether FOMO was my main motivation for a lot of my perfume purchases. Why do you think I've got fucking 8 bottles of Pavarotti? Why have I got 15 bottles of fucking Balenciaga Pour On? Oh, this is a fantastic chat. Frankly, I'm really enjoying this. Anything that is excessively above the median, so take a look at the prevailing market and assess the brand based on that. In my opinion, the price is around €275 between Kilian, Parfum de Marlene Initio, and the Nishane Amouage Roja. Every single one of those brands, right, can stuff their perfumes up their arse for nothing and fuck off while they're doing it. They're massively overpriced, in my opinion. Maybe I'm showing me age because I remember when they were better, they were more than half the price what they are now. Are you keeping the same energy when comparing €120 perfumes versus $8 Zara perfumes and put the Zara in your best list? I don't like Zara perfumes. Pardon me. Okay, I get the point now, Brian. I think the pricing when ranking versus pricing when deciding to purchase something are different. Value gets a rating like everything else does, Brian. An €8 fragrance that is well blended is worthy of a 10 out of 10 rating for value, but what are the others? Scent of the Day's Histoire de Parfum 1740 Awesome Immortel Frags. I'm delighted to be here and hang out with Doug and friends, says Rachel. Welcome, Rachel. Thank you. We should have Rachel on the channel, shouldn't we? We should do a. I am woefully behind in the chat. My God. We should do a stream together, Rachel, if you're keen one day. You can we'll have Jura Rose on as well. You can like a cheap and or expensive fragrance as opposed to others when it comes to ranking, but if you're deciding on if to purchase a fragrance, price is absolutely a factor. Which is what that's why people watch reviews now. You know? Should I buy this? Should I be informed as to whether to buy this? Jubilation 40 is worth the money for me. I'd buy it probably. I haven't smelled it yet, so I mean, people are using Jubilation. People are using Jubilation as a thing, and I can't talk about it because I've never smelled it yet. Like, I'd buy it like I did for Epi, but I wouldn't get it if I didn't get it in the PR. I bought Ensor at €650, but you wouldn't have that €650 to spend on the Ensor if you'd paid for the other Amouages, though. You know what I mean? You would have to make a choice between the two, probably. If we were allowed to know how much the houses spent on materials, then it would make an interesting comparison, but there's no truly fair market value for perfumes. There's no true fair market value for fucking anything, really. Not true. There might be fair, but there's not true. Not saying FDB is better or worse than others unless it's in the stream with the last, just in your own individual experiences, a small worth amount and X amount of dollars. Are you the target demo for that, Zara? Probably not. The average influencer interacting with your content would think twice about €455 for 100ml, much less a non-influencer. Brian, I'll send you €12 without a problem, says Dushan. That's kind of you. If I'm paying €455, I want a full package or close to it, unless I was a brand loyalist. Price is irrelevant. It is not. Because the cost is very different per person, and what's worth it to some people is not worth it to the others. Price is not irrelevant. I just can't accept that under any circumstances where price is irrelevant. Price is a massively, fundamentally central part of. We'll stick to perfume, but price is a fundamental part of the product. Massively. To try and remove it, you might as well just not talk about it. It removes a fundamental part of what makes something what it is, unless you want to live in a communist society. Like where money doesn't exist. But it does exist. And that's why it's so important, because money exists. Say that it doesn't. Say I slew them not, but dead they are. As Shakespeare put it. I really need another slash, but I'm fucking absolutely, completely lost in the game here. Normalize it to relative, this should be normalized. The cost should be normalized is my argument. I totally agree, Divine. Normalize it relative to the medium of the niche universe you're sampling, and then dent the expensive product for achieving the same well cost and thing. Pep, welcome. We all have different budgets, plus there are great fragrances sold at high prices that are expensive to make. That does happen. Hi, Rich and chat. Welcome, Pep. Price tends to have little meaning to the actual perfume, especially when you see a bunch of expensive bottles given out like candy. Yeah. They normalize these extremely high prices. They normalize these extremely high prices, and they do it through spreading out They do it through spreading out a lot of free bottles, basically, to influencers, because influencers are different to celebrities. Celebrities have got all the glamorous sort of thing. Influencers will turn up in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, maybe showing a bit of cleavage, maybe not. And they're normal people just like me and you. And yet here they are with this £500 bottle of perfume, saying how great it is. Obviously, materials in there are foreign and Paul with some zero. If Oud Maracuya achieves the same blending as Jubilation 40 and it has half the buy-in. Here is Paribus. That fragrance should be higher on any ranking. Divine is speaking Latin. It totally holds true for my ranking in that regard. What does blending mean? I think it just means the way that the perfume's made. I think it's like the act of like making the fragrance. You know what I mean? It's the best feeling when you buy perfume with your own money. For good ingredients, you can get any fragrance pre-1970s for a few bucks online. Don't make them better per se. I was knowing the vintage perfume market. I would say that's, unless you're saying a bottle actually made pre-1970s, there'll be some of them like fucking Honda Cafe that you can buy for like 20 quid, but I don't necessarily think that's a great fragrance. Like, Brian, I feel like because price is subjective for every person, it is relevant. It becomes an essential factor for your decision on whether or not to purchase a fragrance, same as how you smell it. If your luxury product is not priced alongside your competitors, then it will perceive that your brand market positioning is off. Bullseye. That's why there's been this fucking gold rush from the fucking designers for them to put their prices like way out of fucking whack. That they're increasing because they don't want to be seen as the cheap option. You know what I mean? They want to be seen as exclusive. It's a fucking arms race. You know what I mean? It's like a Cold War. Jubilation never was an expensive formula. In fact, it's very cheap. Totally agree. That's part of the trick. That's part of because it's like 50 odd percent galaxolide, isn't it? Which is one of the most common and easily cheap fucking available perfume fucking cheap fucking perfume ingredients you can get. Agreed, David. Then why would you rank a fragrance lower if you like it more because it's less expensive for other people? It makes no sense. That's an example of personal preference. You can like Jubilation more than Maracuya, but assuming we find some scent that is blended on par with Jubilation 40 and it costs less, should rank ahead. I'd much prefer to swap perfumes. Bartering system removes the money from the equation. I would. The problem I don't barter. The reason I don't barter is because I'm actually trying to shrink the collection. If I barter, then I don't actually shrink the collection unless I give two. I have to skip a few messages. Sorry, but I'll be back. Oh. Hello, I'm back. Right, there with us. One moment, please. I am absolutely loving this. I think everybody is bringing a lot of value, and everybody is saying some very important things, and I'm glad it's not one-way traffic, and I'm glad that we are talking, and we can all have our opinions, but they are in the end just opinions. I'll say one thing as well. I know Brian's on a channel where I've openly stated many times that I do not care or like the fact that free bottles are given out, and he is somebody who has openly fucking stated that he's received free bottles. What I will say is Brian defends his position in good faith, and he always marks his reviews when he has received a bottle as sponsored content. A good and honest man. And he is always welcome to darken my towels whenever he wants. There's an example of personal preference. I'm going to skip over some chat, right? And I do apologise. Divine and Brian are having a rare old battle. It's fantastic. Brian, I wouldn't rank a fragrance lower unless if I rank it for more. If I rank it more, if I like it more. We all like to think that we aren't. Everybody likes to think on any side that they aren't biased and that they can be. Welcome, Fliss. Lovely Fliss. We all like to think that we are unbiased, but everybody's biased in some way, shape, or form. We're all by all sorts of different things. I'm not trying to sit here and say that I am not biased or that I am unflawed. I don't have to answer these questions about free bottles. I'm so glad. The argument is that if you've smelled 100 frags in 2023, you're not achieving anything by stating like bullshit like Jubilation 40 is better than myself. No shit. Are you achieving something by stating that? That is exactly the type of thing that I would state. Because that's exactly what I think. And I have not smelled Jubilation 40. So I've said that now, and I might fucking hate it. You never know. I don't even watch Perslays anymore because of the endless samples. I don't want to say it's disingenuous, because I don't think it. I think it's semantics. I think that it's, and he's not here to defend himself, and I don't want to sit here and lay into him because that's wrong. And I'm not going to lay into him because I do actually like Perslays. I think he adds a lot of value to the community. I don't think he takes from the community. I think he gives to the community, but I also think that the whole full bottle being called a sample thing, that's not. I don't agree with that at all. I mean, on his head be it, but like, how you can cut? Because we know what a sample is in the context of perfume. Context is all important, you know. Context is all important about almost everything where humans are involved, and like, it's calling. I mean, it's a sample. I mean, a fucking sample's this, man. You know what I mean? Like, I got these from Hendley. Oh, someone, Lily, very kindly, thank you, sent me these samples from Hendley because they came with the bloodline. They're samples, right? That is not a sample. That is a full bottle. That is a bottle. That is not a sample. I do not go along with that. I just don't. in the context of perfume, when you say something as a sample, you know it's like a 2, 3. I'm not even sure I would go as far as to say that a 5 ml is a sample. Is that not a decant? No. But like, it's the same thing as like, it's just, I don't know, because I'm really conflicted because I really love Persolays, actually. I do think he is one of, if not the best of us, as far as reviewers, and because he's like a wordsmith. People call him Professor. Is it Professor? People look up to him. I look up to him. I would love to be able to talk about things the way he does. I just think that one instance where, but to be fair, he always says, it's the same as Brian. He always says, and I can fucking respect. I'm not so fucking dogmatic that I couldn't like or respect somebody because they got free bottles. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think it's a problem. I think it's a genuine problem, and it's not something I want to do. I have only ever received Eugene's perfumes, which I won't talk about because I got them for free. But I made that very clear early on to him and everyone else. If it wasn't Eugene, I wouldn't have accepted them. And I once got a free bottle of a Cajal before I was a reviewer, called Lamar from Mo, who was a lovely man, which I don't actually like because it's a dirty great white floral. But there we are. Let's read what Fliss is saying. Stephen, how are you? It's a very active chat. You can't make your opinion fact. I agree with that. I don't know what it's in retort to because I have lost. Andrew Tate calling a Sauvage Elixir a beast mode performer. So performance. I did notice a few people mentioning performance. I tend to like stuff that's bigger and performs more, but I think that is a personal thing. I know Eugene tends to prefer stuff that's like flighty, that comes and goes, that moves around, that like you can smell it 1 minute and then it's gone the next. And like, I mean, I wore Vanille Havane today, and I got a compliment on Vanille Havane, by the way. Fucking yes. That's 3 times. I think it's because I'm losing weight, but we'll talk about that another time. Anyone know how long it takes for Les Abstrait samples to ship from Canada to the UK? I don't know how long it takes for them to ship them. I got them within a week. It was fucking quick. But I tend to like bigger stuff, but that's just kind of like, I think that's the style of perfume I like. And I also think that I spray a lot more now because I've got so much shit. I made a conscious decision a while ago and I thought, fuck it. I've got a massive perfume collection. I'm never going to use it unless I lay it on thick. And fuck it. I want people to smell it. And hopefully if they get offended, they'll stay the fuck away. All I'll say about pricing is that if Encre Noir stops hitting discounters, we have truly entered the perfume dark ages. It's like the canary in the coal mine, isn't it? If you ever find Encre Noir over £50, you know we're in serious trouble, every single one of us. And at that point, it doesn't matter how we got there. We are in danger. Rejubilation 40. I prefer less performance, more intimate sillage, and value the opposites, such as a nice Chanel. Yeah, it's like me and Eugene. I like the opposites in that sort of style. Like Eugene likes a more flighty thing. I like a big, stinking perfume. I think that's a personal thing. I'm not sure how I would equate price to that. I think that's more taste, but that's just part of like. That is just part of perfume, that, you know what I mean? I just like me big vintage fuck off. It's like I don't like fucking white florals and piss and that kind of thing, you know what I mean? You don't need to assess perfume perform based on my opinions. Go ahead, pull up for a granite or a Perfume. We run right in between. It's only going one direction. You can't make your opinion the trouble. Right, Fliss, here we are. I read Fliss's stuff. Hello, I was alerted to the chat. Yes, by me. The trouble with free bottles is that it taints the whole community. Then when you say something like, when you like something, people immediately call you a shill. Yes, that is the problem. People can infer bias. That's kind of what I was saying when I said I don't have to answer these questions. I don't take free bottles. And the free bottles that I have had, the free bottles I have had off Eugene, because he's like one of my best mates, and I was there during the process when he was making them. I wouldn't accept them off anyone else. Alan, you've missed an absolute barnstormer. It's been brilliant. Brian and Divine have been having one of the great fucking chats of all fucking time. The word is legs. Spread the word. Silver Panther, I didn't get that for a second. Fliss, when are you and Rich going to do a stream together? When life allows. I'm free most days. And by most days, I mean every day. I'll call you a shill. I've received one bottle after a favorable review. I've received one bottle after a favorable review as a gift from a small brand, but I've never been sent a bottle to review. Rich, sample in the perfume industry is not the same as a sample in the fashion industry. A fashion industry sample usually refers to an item outside the factory assembled line. I understand that, but me and Persiles and you and everyone in the chat, we all occupy the perfume space. So we are saying it in that context, aren't we? You know what I mean? By the way, I should say, I don't think free samples are a problem. I think everybody should be allowed free samples. How many years till we do a stream together? Is 2 a good? Me and you will do a stream together at a much shorter interval than 2 years, mate. Don't worry about that. Probably in the new year. I love beautiful fragrances. I spray them so the sillage is intimate. I think of my 15ml bottles as bottles, albeit small ones, not samples. Yeah, there's a kind of a weird like, I don't know, 5ml feels like too much to be a sample, but not enough to be a bottle. You know, so I want to call it a decant, even though I'm not entirely sure that that's what it is. I'm going to go longer than 2 hours tonight, friends, because it's lit. But when I love something, it's very hard when people then accuse me of shelling. It's hard to fight back. The state of free stuff makes it hard to review things favorably. Yeah, it's that is a big issue, because those questions you've got to answer them. You know, I don't have to answer them. I don't. There are other questions I have to answer. Absolutely, as we all do. Everybody. I'm not saying I'm not accountable for like the things I say and the things I do. What I'm saying is that question, and it's a big question, especially in the perfume community. You know. It's the one that we've all got a fucking answer for, because like Fliss says, free stuff gets it taints her as a whole. It just does. Say it ain't so, but it's true. The state of free stuff makes it harder to review things favorably, yeah. I like Hermes a lot, example, because I can spray more without having beast mode CRs. Yes. It's about what works for you. I think the conclusion is that ignoring any aspects of a fragrance within the confines of a ranking list leads to misleading conclusions not in line with the aspects that Fragcom followers care for. I do think price is a major part of it's fundamental, it's central. You know, along with the smell, it's as basic as that. This is what it smells like. This is how much it costs. Because if you want to smell it, if you want to own it, if you want to smell like this, you have to pay for it. I didn't. That's where it's like this. It's like this innate. You know that video. Have you ever seen that video where the 2 monkeys right, have to do the same job, and one of them gets a treat for doing it and the other one doesn't get a treat for doing it, right? It's that kind of, and the one that doesn't get a treat goes, pardon the pun, ape shit, right? It's that kind of thing. It's along those lines. It's like, how can you tell me to buy this? How can you recommend this to me when I have to pay for it and you don't? And it comes down to that, in my opinion. Anyone know how long it takes for lizards? Just so I've read that. Exactly, bro. We are so in sync. What's that about? And bought the other two. What's this? What's this? What's this? I bought the other two before that, and for me, Bellarme is better than is better than La Delire Excuse and Descendre. I should say Brian's saying that, not me. So Dev agrees. Oh, see, I got you. Just put one spray of loud stuff. You got your money's worth. You got more than your money's worth, it could be argued, if you're only using one spray. I mean, I put on 4 or 5 sprays of Les. I put on 4 or 5 sprays of Vanille Havana today. All I'll say about pricing is that if Encre Noir stops hitting the discounters, we've truly fucking entered the perfume dark ages. That is a. People should keep an eye on Encre Noir at discounters and see what happens, because it's not as cheap as it used to be. I think it's like 25, 27. You know? To be honest, I knew that even before I smelled the Sandra. It's just not in my regular wheelhouse. But it's good, though, says Brian. DMS, oh, sorry, I've read that. That'll be the 3rd time. Bloody hell. You might enjoy them. Fragrance Enthusiast says, do you like original Dior Homme? Yes. I like it very much, and I have a lot of it. I've smelled Kalesh, but not Perfume. DJ Eugene has free shipping deal, and he's including all 3 at the minute, even if you buy one. Excuse me, masculines have never been quite my thing. Yes. Welcome, Alan Hansen. How are you, my lord? I hope you're well. The word is legs. Spread the word. Fuss, when are you and Rich going to do a stream together? Grand Soir can be quite transparent, weirdly. I fucking hated Grand Soir. I thought it was so basic. I really didn't like it. You also get Les Abstray sample set here in the UK from Saint Celier for £24. I'll go back and watch this later this evening whilst I wrap up a few gifts for Wes. Shh. There's a lot of ISOE super in that scent. Which one? Fragrance Enthusiast is deleting their messages. I prefer the vintage, says Rachel. Ah, a lady after my own heart. I wish brands would just do 1ml cheap-looking samples, no packaging, just to try, because prices on samples have gone mad. Yes, that's another good point. I think samples should be free, to be honest. No dabbers, though. Divine makes a very good point as well. Some lucky scent dabbers. Sandra says, Rachel, I bought Bellarme and loved it. I got my order with a decant of Les Indomptables and Descendre. Descendre is my favourite, however, it's so potent that my 7-year-old daughter cannot stand its smell. Brian doesn't have a YouTube. He used to have a YouTube, which is very unfortunate because I actually enjoyed Brian's channel. I thought it was sad at the Scentiest Awards because the things that won were the things that sent out free bottles, and smaller brands that can't afford got overlooked. See? It's shit like that. The twist, the poison. I don't want to say the poison the well. That's not the right thing, but they twist the nature of reality. You know what I mean? Because it's sales, and that's what sales do. They twist the nature of reality. It's not. You're not getting accurate or fucking Navitus winning best brand at Centex, but I mean that's just outrageous. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there was the year that Max Forte gave himself an award as well. That's all you need to know about that shit. You know? Like, I mean, Jesus, really. Take the fucking Oscars and small films. Yeah. It's basically the reason I got out of most of YouTube now. I only watch people to see what's the flavour of the month. Anytime I see them talk about new shit, instantly tune off their opinions. Agreed, that's an issue. Most lists are all of PR. People can say about my getting a ton of PR or they want to buy samples more stuff than my list. I will also say again, Brian always marks his posts as being sponsored. Not a lot of people do that. Brian has a lot of love from me because he's honest. Fliss. Well, sometimes good stuff wins, you know. If all is well, the Perfume equivalent of a Paul Thomas Anderson movie would win. Sorry, I just had to mention Paul Thomas Anderson. I knew that as soon as I read it. The cloth duck cut from They Don't Make No More, says Steph's. Do you know what it is? I'm one of those people. I'm quite black and white, if you hadn't noticed this. I like to be... I mean, you don't have to like where I stand, but I like it when everybody knows where I stand. Do you know what I'm saying? As long as I can justify it to myself, and I would say that about everybody, as long as you are at peace with it yourself, that's a pretty good way to be. Navitus winning best branded scent expo still outrageous behaviour. You know what I mean? Why not Duo Home 2020? I think it's shit. I think it smells like a kind of an amalgamation of the least offensive things you can get in perfume. You know? I think it smells like all of the boring things like Isoe, Super, Cedar, Vetiver, Bergamot. Just the least offensive, least interesting perfume that you can get. Like it literally smells like the main note of almost every easy to wear perfume you can get. Lol at Max. Yeah, we're all laughing at Max. Fuck off. Fucking undead son of a bitch. Speaking of Max was subscribed to me at one point. You're joking. I wonder if you subscribed to me. Hello, Max. Hilariously, my Insta list of the year is all discontinued, says Bliss. That sounds like my kind of list, to be honest. Do you have a sample of Parfum, Le Parfum de Thérèse? No, I don't like it. Is it because they're familiar, because you don't like the smell? I will find it immediately. Navitus, because of the compositions and materials I don't like. I wear men's fragrances all the time. It's too kind, too shan. 1,000 thanks. I love a good recommendation. But always keep an open mind. They could create something great next time. Fragrance enthusiast says, Rich, do you like masculine white florals like Reflection Man? No, not hugely. There are some, there'll be some fucking florals, like white florals somewhere out there that I think, I mean, Nuita Bacalite are like a good fragrance, but it's not something I could ever wear. It's not something that I could ever, like, it's not something that I could ever sort of get involved with and wear on a regular basis. You know, very difficult. Oh my God. Metro Parfumier Queer Fetiche has become one of my favourite masculine white florals. They've got quite a few ambers and leathers now, haven't they? They've got a few ambers and leathers, which is interesting. They've gone down that road. I would still like to find a couple of their fragrances. I've got Santal Noble. Oh, excuse me. Wow. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one that's like lavender and sage and thyme and all of that sort of thing. I will have to look up on my eBay. I think I'm about to win a bid on a candle from L'Artisan Parfumier. Parfume de Fure. Smells like leaves, apparently. So we'll see. Does anybody know what Parfume de Fure smells like? Sorry, I'm checking what this perfume by Metro Parfume Elegante is called. What are you called? Garrigue. Garrigue. What a perfume. Dear Barbara. And a guitar. Monodiorio. Get on the art de la matière. Oh, I was telling people about me, I was telling you all about how I got that bottle of La Frenchy Lavande for half price. Somebody went and got it fucking 35 quid cheaper on an auction last week. I was like, oh, I even considered bidding on it. So I thought, it's just one of them fragrances that I would just put like 15 or 20 sprays on and then reapply it later. Your AB is hilarious. I swear it's not the same AB as this mortal have. I'm just extremely keen, you know? Extremely keen. Ooh. Eau de Monsieur. It is raining outside and it's not very happy. Oof. What makes you fond de car? No, that's a fucking bloke from Japan who rips everyone off. Not my friend from Japan, but another one. Roger Regale, anyone? Sunny Metra is selling a Chanel number 5 Eau Premiere Eau de Parfum 5ml for 22 quid. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Rich, what's the fizziest perfume you own? Fizzy? Could be there, Lord of Men, you know. It's got that bit, anything with juniper in, anything with a prominent juniper, give you that fizzy vibe, you know? Big fizz. I don't know if anyone is keen on this. I will share it with Fliss. See what she says. Ooh. Profumo de Lauri. He doesn't offer some bad stuff. That's Benji. Saffron. I wonder if Benji's here. He's got some fucking good stuff listed on the Ebs. Oh dear. Oris Wakan Atar. Does anybody know what Oris Wakan Atar smells like? It sounds like it's got an irisy little number. He's got some fucking outrageous Amouage bottles. Dear Barbara. Good for you, Benji, mate. Oris Wakan is nice, but very basic for the price. What is it? Is it just like an iris? eBay folk reminded me to check for vintage Jubilation 25. We'll get there one day, lads. We'll get there one day. Your eBay is hilarious. Yes, I get. I do. For some reason, get around on the old eBay. Like, Brian should absolutely smell like Wapage. It's the closest thing to a Chanel number 5 pour on. I'm not sure about that. Oh, Nuita Bakelite, putting that out for tomorrow. I thought Nuita Bakelite was eminently tolerable for a tuberose. Salty, green kind of thing, stemmy. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I wish we bought more Metro when I was in Paris. They were phasing out the old bottles for 50 a piece. I would be all about that. I'd have took one of each. Garrigue. I really want a bottle of that vintage Garrigue in the old bottle. That stuff is glorious. It smells like that Amouage à l'Andalouse. I should put, oh, sorry, need a f. I hate that. Fuel is round fouet. Okay. eBay VIP, the Amouage crystals will be there soon. The Amouage crystal bottles, they are turning up at discounters already. The bastards. Speaking of frags that require reapplication, I recently bought Golden Myrrh by Xenia. All of them are very. They're not. You're not. You're not going to get greatness as far as performance is concerned with them. Xenia's apparel is prohibitively expensive, in the same league as Filippi Cucinelli and Loro Piana. That was not easy. Only one of the new Amouage Tars that is worth it if you can afford a Santal Sohar, in my opinion. That is wonderful, says Brian. I'm funny with the Tars. Ramsey's a full convert, like he's a huge fan. I have a sample of Iris Wakana Tar. It's a reimagining of an Atabo Amouage using IFRA standards. Oh no! What does it smell like though? Oh no, I hate rap music. I used to be a rapper, says Brian. Oh no. Generalizing again. You just haven't found the one track to amaze you. Divine it was not, it smells no down. I can't. Wish I could try more of the old Amouage Tars. I only have Edia. Sorry. Edia. Oh gosh. I've got Al-Andalus, which is just wow. That is some stench. Sage, lavender, fresh. NP will sell you 1.5 mils for €72, says Divine. Ay, cabrón. Where are we here? What's Al-Andalus got going on? What is in Al-Andalus? Let's see what Perfume has to say. Al-Andalus. That's not how you spell it. There it is. Okay. Orange blossom, lemon, rosemary, geranium, clary sage, lily of the valley, oak moss, musk, and sandalwood, according to Parfumo. And according to Fragrantica, it's saying that orange blossom's the biggest note in it. It's not. It's just fucking not, like. Andalus. There's two of them, though. Fragrantica says rosemary, Amalfi lemon, and African orange flower, clary sage, geranium, and lily of the valley, oak moss, sandalwood, and musk. I get the rosemary and the clary sage and the lemon, and I get something lavendery in it. I'm sure I do. It is one of the most beautiful smells I own. Absolutely fucking amazing it is. Dear Barbara. Somebody on Fragrantica called Pie May is trying to sell one. Brian Sultan Pasha has an attar called Aim Sombra, which is a recreation of Amouage Tribute. You should smell that one. I've smelled Tribute actually. It's really, really nice. I was just blown away by Al-Andalus. The attars still made the old way were amazing. You have to go there to buy them. Very interesting. Saffron and frankincense composition. I need to get that Sultan Discovery set. Every time I tried buying, he wasn't selling. That does me tits in as well. I don't like that about that house from America. The one that does what they call, but not Strange Love. Slumber House. It's just like, nah, I'm not selling them at the minute. Is what you're talking about? You fucking make more, dickhead. Don't just like sell some and then take them away and say, no, you can't have them. Fuck off. What are you talking about? Strange man. I'm just buying it, mate. He has persistently on back order now, I believe. Just buy it. Lilies de Fath is your favourite iris ever, says Dushan to Rachel. Imagine. I've got the coldest foot. For some reason I've got a really, really cold foot. Sultan Pasha isn't selling sometimes because he's fickle. I think he isn't selling sometimes because he's fickle. I think he isn't selling sometimes because... I wasn't talking about Sultan Pasha, I was talking about that Slumber House guy. He is fickle. Dev has deleted his message now. Let me correct myself, says Dev. Please. At your leisure, sir. Oops. Oh, it's... What is going on? Let me correct myself. Dinner time, says Dushan. It's late to be having dinner, isn't it? I had ribs. For my dinner. I had soup and a sandwich for my lunch. And then just ribs for me tea. Pork ribs. Okay. Dev says, I think Sultan Pasha isn't selling at times not because he's fickle, but because he's a one-man operation and is busy raiding 2 daughters. Raiding them? Jesus Christ. Dushan, the original extract of Larice de Fath is my fave. With Eleanor Wee by Sheldrake. Iris Silver Mist, very close. Fave Every Day is Heri's original formulation by Via Giacobetti. For dinner, I had some wings. Raising. Oh, right, raising, not raiding. Oh my god, an awful mistype, says Dev. Dev is throwing out wild accusations. Wild accusations. Oh dear. Excuse me. Has anybody heard anything from Daniel from Germany, who had his shows binned off after he did something outrageous? I can't remember. What did Jeremy do again? Ah, yes, he attended a party with some pretty... Yeah, some unfavourable people. And you're sure I didn't like the Ladies de Fath new EDP nearly as much as I expected, says Brian. Oh no. Brian, I was so disappointed by the new Iris de Fath. Sultan Pasha's Iris Soir is supposedly his interpretation of Iris Gris, and it's incredible. It's also incredibly expensive. I don't know the old one well, but dare I say I don't find it that much irisy. It was spicy, earthy, not beautiful. The new EDP, that is, says Brian. Oh. Do you know, I've slept loads today, and yet, I feel like I slept 2 hours. I'm absolutely battered. Do not take your youth for granted. My God, I can't believe I'm that person. But I'm telling you, 15 years ago, there'd have been 5-hour streams and shit. No doubt. Oh. No worries about Daniel, but I want to know, where is Natalia? Slept like a bear, says Micah. I envy you. I smelt the strip of Iris Gris from the Osmotech. It's phenomenal. Is that the vintage one, the really old one? Like the 100-year-old perfume that everybody talks about how outrageous it is. Is it powdery? I want to go to the Osmotech. I'd be like a pig in Chardonnay. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Violent iris, shortest day of the year today. Might have something to do with the sleepiness. Ah, mate, it's much more likely to be. It's much more likely to be the state of my health. Rheumatological problems often come with a generalized feeling of tiredness, which is exactly what I have. I got an iris tattoo. Should have went to the Osmotech instead. I got an iris tattoo. Should have went to the Osmotech instead. 5-hour stream is code for a urologist's wet dream. Fuck's sake. We should do a big day out to the Osmotech. I would be just so wounded. I can't imagine what that would do. You'd have to carry us back to England. You know what I mean? Or do like what the Egyptians did with like the big stones and like put soap underneath us and like drag us along. You know what I mean? Oh, who was it that did a 24-hour stream in Fragcom? Joey Canoli's done quite a few. Do a live stream from there. I would do a live stream from there. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm going to hang on for another 3 or 4 minutes, don't worry. Fliss, does the original Iris Gris have a lot of peach and violet? I got peach and violet from Sultan Pasha's Iris Soir. I do think Sultan Pasha's one of the best self-taught perfumers. He's fantastic, to be fair to him. There's a lot of his stuff that I don't particularly like because it's just not my thing. It's not my style, but that Fougere Noir, wow! I hope he makes that Fougere Noir as an ADP, puts it in a bottle, because I would buy that. I'd buy a sample of it, and if it was nice, I would buy it, and I would be fucking very happy, because that is a fucking outrageous, salty green kind of thing. An amazing attar, but I would prefer to have an ADP because I'm just not. Oh, you Burke. Oh! There we go. Reaching down to the floor. The back does not approve. Brian, is the tattoo a scratch and sniff? Do a live stream from there. I will do. If we go, that's what we'll do. Me and Fliss with backpacks and hats, maybe a beanie or two. And we'll go there, take on the French. I hope they speak English because I don't speak French. I will be that terrible, terrible, terrible person who goes there and be like, dost thou speak English in these French parts? For some reason, I'll turn into a Yorkshireman. Shouting very loudly to try and... the French speak English, but they won't. Yes, that's right. That's right. I would have to fly. I would have to fly to France. There's no way I could deal with the like. Say if I travelled down, right? Say I travelled to France on the Monday on the train, right, and got to France in the Monday evening, right. It would then take me until probably the Wednesday at the earliest before I'd actually be able to do anything in France. I would have to spend Tuesday recovering at least one day. So I would have to go by plane to Paris. I don't know. We should arrange this, you know. Eurostar is the only way, says Fliss. You live down south. You live down south. I might be in Paris at the end of March in 2024. I speak French, darling. Ooh. How posh. I barely speak English. Which day of the month? It's a dream, Fliss. I speak French. You should come over. We should try and get everybody to come over, and we will go as a group. I'd need a passport first. And in fact, a tweet on Fougere by Sultan Pasha is the Mukhalat I prefer to Fougere Noir. That depends on my scent of the day and how long I haven't showered, says Brian. Good grief. Don't you've many people who can translate for you. Yes, that would be nice. I would definitely need somebody to do that because I'm not sure the French would understand my accent as it is. I do have a few French viewers, actually. Karine from Olfactive... Karine. Anyway, Karine is a French viewer. Be nice to meet Karine. I go with the perfumistas to France, but I'm a broke university student, says Dev. I should all pitch in and get a mower. Olfactive stories, thank you, Brian. Dear me. I go with Wes and I are just looking for an excuse to fly over to England. Please help us find one. I don't know. Just let me know when you're coming. Let me know when you're coming, and we will meet. Next time we can meet in Manchester, so there's more actual perfume to smell. To be fair, the last time we met, that was kind of like the perfect amount of time for me, because I spent a couple hours there, bite eat, a little bit of a waddle around Leeds, and then drove home. I was battered, but I'm always battered by everything, so it's not the point. It doesn't really mean anything, is what I should say. Oh my goodness me, why am I yawning? Oh, I wonder what Jura Rose is doing. I will hassle him after this. I haven't got a clue how often they organise visits. Never been to the Osmotex, says Sandra. I am French. I live not so far from the Osmotex. Welcome. Sandra is a viewer and she is French. See? Proof. No oxygen in Rich's room. It's to do... Apparently, people yawn. It's a social thing. Apparently, humans yawn to regulate bedtimes. But I don't know how true that is, because you can get cats that yawn, and they're the least sociable fucking animals in the world, aren't they? You like give animals food and pets and love and all of that sort of thing, and then they just walk off and show you their bumhole. And they're like, see you later, loser. I'll be back when I want more food. And you're like, yes, please do. Enchanté is the only French I know, and that's because of Anouge. Anouge. Anouge sent me a Christmas parcel. Anouge sent me presents. Very kindly. Which I will now show you. What's going on here? Ooh! And the thing I was most excited about, as you will see. Do we yawn because we aren't as interesting as cats? Absolutely. Absolutely we aren't as interesting as cats. Oh no! So... people yawn when others do. I did when you did. It's been proven. Yes, it's true. I've got a bottle of that. I've got a mini of this, which I am delighted to have. And then this. This is the secret weapon. The soap is the thing I am most chuffed with. I'm convinced Anouge is Santa. Yes. Yes, that's right. Anouge is Santa. Anouge is lovely. I haven't seen Anouge around these parts for a while. I've no doubt that he still lurks, but he's probably a busy man. Can't imagine how busy he is at this time. Welcome, Paroli. How are you? The mere hint of Anouge has brought Paroli out of the air. Has brought Paroli out of his slumber. Anouge is Santa. Rich, would you say you're chuffed a bit? Yes. Oh my God in heaven. This is glorious, by the way. I'm absolutely buzzing me bap off. Right, so the first thing he sent me was this, and I have no idea what it is. It's a Mille Schoen Haute Couture. So I do actually know what it is. So Mille Schoen's Haute Couture. Sorry, France. I'm butchering your language once again. I have to apologise to France on a regular basis for what I do to their language. I don't do it on purpose, but here we are. Anyway, so I got Haute Couture by Mille Schoen, which is quite nice. I have that bottle. You have this bottle. What do you think of it? It's... Oh, I think it's fucking lovely, actually. It is actually a bit lovely. Oof. I'm getting yogurt. Why am I getting yogurt? That can't be right. Trebon. Schön. Haute Couture. Let's have a look. How are we spelling couture? There we are. C-O-U-T-U. Mille Schoen's Haute Couture. Woody. Leather. Animalic. 1981 it was released. Haute Couture by Mille Schoen fuck me. Haute Couture by Mille Schoen is launched in 1981. It was a good year for Perfume, was 1981. The composition is a classical feminine chypre opening with notes of citrus, spices, peach, strawberry, and rosewood. The heart is floral with carnation, rose, jasmine, lily of the valley, violet, ylang-ylang, orange blossom, orris, and clove. On the base of patchouli, oak, moss, sandalwood, vetiver, amber, musk, styrax, leather, and civet. It is available as a 60ml. And here we are with said bottle. 60ml. 83% it is. I didn't know it was feminine. I wouldn't have said it was feminine. It's fucking... It's woody, it's dark. I don't know how much is Rich is already practicing his French, and it's still terrible. So... Okay. One moment. Alan has been in touch. Rachel has given her permission. I will forward Alan... Oh, how the fuck do I do this? View contact. There we go. Don't forward anything. Sorry to laugh there, but nobody says comme ci, comme ça in France. It's a weird textbook thing. Oh, that would be like people saying jolly good to an English person. Because if you said jolly good in this country, you'd probably get slapped for being a toff. Where's Rachel? Rachel. There she is. Right. Haute Couture by Mille Schoen. Mille Schoen. Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. Okay. Next up, and you will have seen this if you are a keen viewer of Jonathan, as we are, as I expect you are, and I am. He got this, and this is a proper fucking... a proper vintage perfume, this. This is Elvis. That is Elvis. Elvis Cologne, by God. By Elvis Colognes. This is immense. I love it. It's one of those things that you smell and immediately you're like, yes, this is amazing. It's a little bit woody. It's a little bit... That's just Elvis fragrances, man. That's what it's called. Elvis Eau de Toilette. There it is. Ambergris, cypress, lavender, mugwort, musk, sage, sandalwood, and spruce balsam. The perfumer is Gerrit van Logchem, who sounds like some outrageous... I don't know who Gerrit van Logchem is, to be honest, but what a name that is. Where did you get it? As people around here would say. Okay, mea culpa, as the French always say. That's Latin, isn't it? You may think you know French until you visit France. It's a different language. You've got like the dialects and all the you've got the whatchamacallits, the accents and stuff like that. My French is dreadful, but I dare say my French accent is très magnifique. Yeah, that's kind of what I was like at school. Rich speaks both Italian and French. Balenciaga pour home. Yes, quite. I trade my ability to speak fluent Spanish for the ability to speak fluent French. Omelette au fromage and whatnot. Omelette du fromage. The colloquial French is completely different, just like English or any language. Yes. So... and then I will share... oh no, sorry, I've dropped a bollock there. Oh, bollocks, I'll do it after the stream. Or will I? Where's what's he called? There he is. What's he called? It's Alan Hansen. I'm bringing people together, friends. I'm bringing people together. But I'm afraid, my friends, that now... oh no, I'm not even finished showing you what I've got. What I've got here. Okay, so the mini he sent me is a little bit mad. I say a little bit mad. It's absolutely outrageous. This is a mini of Monogram by Ralph Lauren. A Monogram. That is a distinctly vintage and most desirable perfume. What does it smell like? Who knows? Because I just tried to smell it there and it hit us right between the fucking eyes. Woof. Soapy. I'm getting something a bit soapy there. Let's have a look at Paul Allen's card. What is that? Monogram. Cologne. Let's see what this is. Citruses, spices, or woodsy notes. What a load of absolute bollocks you talk. Let's see what Fragrantica has to say about Monogram. Fragrantica. Lavender, cyan balsam, woody notes, jasmine, green notes, sandalwood, cedar, leather, musk, patchouli, spicy notes, amber, bergamot, vanilla, and oak moss. Not that I particularly put much sway behind what Fragrantica has to say, but it's so soapy. Good grief. I'm going to have to go and dehydrate. Friends, we're going for 3 hours tonight. I will come back and give the big reveal in a minute. Oh, itchy. Not an itchy hoof, a sore hoof. Oh my goodness. Sorry? I'll put it in the sink in case it drifts off the floor. Oh, friends. Once again, I have returned. I have been whinged at, and I was very dismissive. I was like, leave me alone, shut up. Here we are, though. How fun. Let's have a look. What is the chat saying? What am I saying? What's going on here? I have to find my channel. I am live. There are more people watching than when I left. Cheers for that. Rich with the late pit stop and bonus round. Yes, that's right. I'm more comfortable with Japanese musicians, but thanks for the recommendations. Do you know David Bull, Dev? Do you follow that channel? Just put David Bull into YouTube. It's really good. Oh. In Spanish, there is no direct verb for to fart. You have to say that you made or threw a fart. Did Jibushi dehydrate? Even more modern ones like Gen Hoshino and Tsukima Switch. Ever seen the Big Les show? Shit is hilarious, mate. Not gonna lie. The what? How is Seba? Sandra B? Alan Hansi? People don't fart in Spain. What the hell happened to the chat? Says Tripler. What happened to the chat? Nobody said anything for ages, and then everybody left as soon as I came back. Everybody's went woodblock printmaker. That's incredible. Thank you for the recommendation, Rich. Oh, it's amazing. It's a brilliant channel, and he sells. That's where I got my. What's it called? Great Wave from. His Great Wave. He only produces them every once in a while. Anyway, you will really, really enjoy that channel, Dev. You can listen to his videos and fall asleep. That's what I do. Anyway, okay, my last present. My last present is this. A Gucci Nobile soap. Can you imagine? This is going in the soap video when I eventually make it. I will. I'm going to make it this year coming. And the mini video. Where do you even find these vintage gems, Rich? eBay? Some things I find on eBay. Some things I find shops around the world. You've just got to look and follow leads and research and do all sorts of stuff, you know. You've got to examine and check and make sure everything's okay. Take chances. That's what a lot of people don't want to do, is take chances. I've never been shy. I've only ever been burned once, and that was off a fucker from eBay. That was my own fault. That said, you shouldn't blame yourself for getting ripped off. That is 5 litres of water I have drank during this stream, my friends. I've only had to dehydrate once. How bizarre. Ooh. Exciting. David Bull. Yes, David Bull. It's very, very fucking good. Nobile soap. Rarer than hen's teeth. Hen's toothpaste, if you will. Hello, Antonio Hobson. How are you? In airport on the way to Hawaii. Nice. Is that where you're spending Christmas? Will you see Bob? Will you go and see Bobby Ono? I haven't heard from Bobby actually for a while. I hope he's alright. I will give him a text if we don't hear from him for a while. I might say Merry Christmas on Christmas Day if we don't hear back. I hope he's okay. Bosh. Cartier Declaration is interesting but difficult to understand. I didn't like it. Getting late for me and Bandy, says Tim. I'm a fan of Declaration D'un Soir. I didn't like them. I didn't like Declarations, any of them. Don't do Declaration. Sorry. Dry down, but the cumin note is big no-no for me. Are you a fan of Declaration by Cartier? No, not for me. Sufficiently hydrated, over sufficiently hydrated. Don't do Declaration. Sorry, Trebler. I'll try not to anymore. Declaration. Welcome, Zach. How are you? Bobby is alright, says Duchamp. I'm glad. Yes, you can't wait to spend Christmas in Hawaii or to see Bob. Are you seeing Bob? Give him a cuddle. Lovely Bob. Ahoy there, matey, says Zach. Ahoy. How are you? I think in general, because Diptyque also has this one perfume full of cumin and it smells. You would hope your perfume smelled, just like armpit. Yeah, I don't like cumin in perfumes, I've got to be honest, I'm not. It's got to be done with such a light touch, although I do like cumin in food. Richie G's wife made a delightful chili. She made a delightful chili on Monday, and I ate it. All of it. She couldn't eat all of it. Cumin is good in Santal Majuscule. I don't get cumin from it. I don't get cumin from it at all. Like, there are some people apparently who, when they smell cumin, they don't get up. They don't get the armpit vibe. They don't get the sweaty vibe. I do. But I don't get it in cooking. I get this kind of like after smell, after taste. No, not St. Bob. I will be there for a week, so you never know. See if you bump into him. See if you bump into him. Apparently it's like a genetic thing, you know. Cumin is good in Indian spiced rice. Have that in the rice you eat with your curry and it just warms you up. I don't get the sweaty vibe, says Paroli. Evening floating man, how are you? I am well, thank you. You have joined us right at the end. Get something in Coogan, Rich, like Steve Coogan. Sorry? I don't know what that means. Golden as always, hope you're all doing well. Just got home from a Frederick Mall booth. And what did you think? Did you enjoy what you smelled? Have you anything you've smelled for the first time? Any first impressions you'd like to drop? Oof. Excuse me. This parcel from Anuj was completely unforeseen. Didn't expect it to happen. Oh, that Elvis cologne's fucking glorious, though. I really enjoy that. I need to put these in here. I need to put this on. The local sandwich shop is doing turkey and stuffing sandwiches tomorrow, and I wanted them to do a chili. I don't know why they're doing turkey and stuffing the day before bloody Christmas, or the days before Christmas. But they have the shop, not me, and they would know better than me. Cumin's always been good to me. Can't deal with other hides, though. Love it. Yeah, I know what you mean, because for me, as with castor, and I really don't smell the piss now, and I know some people find that Antaeus pissy. I wish my piss smelled like Antaeus. You'd be able to bottle it and sell it, mate. Pay it no mind, Rich. I misheard something you say as Coogan. It's just a silly joke. Okay. You don't like cumin in Eau de Hermes? I struggle with it, but I actually do like that fragrance. It gives a heat. It's got this kind of heat. It's got that kind of heat sort of thing. It's just balanced so perfectly that I really like it. It's like cloves. I like the cloves in Rochas Femme. Where the fuck is my Rochas Femme, by the way? Is it lurking back there? I believe it is. I believe it is. Where is it? Oh no. Oh no, maybe it's not. Is it lurking back then? Where the fuck have I put Rochas Femme? I've put it somewhere. There's me a scar of magnetism. I'll see that. Fuck knows. I should really. I mean, I've got too many perfumes. I need to sell some off so I can get to the other stuff. Love, love, love aldehydes. Can't always deal with cumin, though. Good night, Dushan. Good night. Joy Ramsey's video. I'm going to watch that afterwards as well. My nose confuses cloves and carnations sometimes. Yeah, I sort of see that, yeah. A quick question about vintage Dior Privé pre-2013. Do they have batch codes etched into the bottles? They will do. They should do. They might be lasered on. They should be there, though. They will have batch codes on, yeah. I got my brother French Lover for Christmas and asked them to decant some Moon and Promise for me. Moon Massive. Is Rich Mitch a fan of Chanel by Le Leon? Rich Mitch hates Chanel by Le Leon. Secret Scarab is fabulous. I agree, but I just couldn't imagine wearing it. I have batch code on the box, but not on the bottle. Maybe you just can't find it. Keep looking. Look around the rim. 2012 Leather Rouge. I mean, does it smell like Leather Rouge? Noted, Brian. I might get a sample. What has the CD on the top? Is it divided or is it conjoined? Like, does the CD look like this? Oh, quick, and I might put you on tomorrow. Lots of civet up top. CD is divided, so it looks like that. See, mine's is it a tester? Because this Queer Canage is a tester, and it doesn't have a box. I got this as a tester, and a lovely woman. Tester. No, it doesn't have the batch code on. I have an Eau de Hermes from the early 80s. It is phenomenal, says Felice. I have a copper cap, and I also have a pewter cap, but it's just a mini, and that is absolutely stunning. I would love a bigger bottle, but I've got like a 200ml of the copper cap, so I'm alright. But this is just, the citruses in this are just bananas, mate. Absolutely bananas. Okay, so the batch code on my Eau Noir is there, but it's very faint. 3Y01. My amber crush right now is Yoshi Darkness. Yoji. Remember Yoshi? No, Brian, I might get a sample of Sacred Scarab if I order a 10ml of civet. Yeah, I think you would like Sacred Scarab, but I want to say it reeks of Sultan Pasha. It is very much of Sultan Pasha's like stable. You'll be able to smell the Sultan Pasha in it. Yep, just like that. Says floating mine. Triplet cloves and carnation both contain eugenol, so that makes sense. I have an Eau de Hermes from the early 80s. It is phenomenal. Not a tester from the best of my knowledge. You would be able to see around the rim of the bottom of the bottle, it would say tester. You wouldn't be able to miss it. Do you still own AD by Alain Delon? I don't think I ever owned AD by Alain Delon. It's my father's favourite perfume, and I really can't find something that smells similar. Do you know anything that smells the same? Ramsey's probably the one for that one. Sounds awesome, Fliss, but from reading impressions online, I might prefer Kalesh and Equipage to Eau de Hermes. It's off the wall, I can't wear it, but I do sniff the cap. Yes, Rachel, they are related. My oldest frag is Blue Carnation, a 50s bottle, and it smells amazing and clovey. Absolutely no ill will towards Eau de Hermes. Try it. One of the great citrus lavender perfumes. The cumin in Eau de Hermes is such that it gives a heat to the citruses as if they're being boiled in a pan, in like a big jam pan, and they're boiling and they're just like, they're hot. It makes them smell hot. It's an incredible trick. It's brilliant, really. I might wear Eau Noir tomorrow, actually. I haven't worn that. It's been a bit milder here recently, although the wind has picked up. Rachel, have you ever smelled Red Moscow, vintage woman's perfume from the Soviet Union? I have Soviet perfumery. I have Sheep, one of the most outrageous fragrances from Brocard, and it has never been reformulated. And it smells like a drunk Russian breath. Mine's a copper cap 30ml, so's mine. Well, I think mine's a 25ml. It's not a big perfume. Oh, fuck away off with you stupid perfume. How big are you? What size are you? 25ml. Copper cap, 85%. In Russia, the fragrances reformulate you. Ever smelled any stuff by Aesop? It really has some gems like Wheel. Throinoi EDC is notorious. Yes, it also was Stalin's perfume. I would like to own that just to say that I've smelled what that filthy shithouse smelled like. Throinoi. And then again, Putin's meant to smell a bit like Goldman. Okay, friends. That's enough from me. I've gone over 3 hours tonight. I was feeling Christmassy. And that is it. I'm tired and I'm going to bed. Well, Rich, I did a madness, bought a discounted Graziels of feeling agile. We'll see what's really up. I will look forward to hearing about that on the next one, or by email. And I will see you all then, friends. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you for talking to us, and I will see you all again soon. Good night.